Hello, besties. It's me, your intended father Wheeler, who has decided to make his life complicated this morning by not putting his water in his cup that we just drank. Pleasant, but I'm thirsty. So, all right, we're got an event next month. First off, this is going to be about December, not December, November, because I had a silly month last November. But first, I don't want to say the brains, maybe the cerebellum, behind Winter Ink Con, which is going to be in January. It's a 1.5 day, 2 day affair. It was 1 day, and then people kept getting added to it. I am doing the keynote speech. We're doing some awards, some industry awards, which I made the board for the Immersive Quill Awards. It was the Inkies in 2024. We were like 27 something categories. I'll have more information on that in a different thing, but I'll have a link below. There's merch. I'm going to have a merch shirt. I'm not running the merch store, and the profits go to a local business I'm not affiliated with. I am just organizing. I'll be doing a panel about comedy and satire with Yura Abrams, who wrote Last Ray of Hope, and she's a great, she's funny. We're both from the Northeast, so we kind of have the same sense of humor. And we work together, we mesh together really well. So I think that's gonna be fun. Where it's just the two of us, we're gonna go deep on a topic instead of having like a large panel discussion. Very excited. I will have a link below about this. Check that. That's my shill. I am planning a very special thing that's going to have its own thing, a self-published bake-off that should open up on January 4th for people to enter their fiction. It has to be published basically before a certain date, otherwise it's not qualified. Looking for judges to judge it, because we're going to crown like one winner for 2025, hopefully by June. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not doing any of the judging. I am just doing the arranging this time because I've hit my limit on things. Yes. Anyway, so speaking of which, I did a lot of professional development in last month, and I've got 2 fictions that are dropping this weekend, although one is going to be more a novella sized. So let's go to our word count for November. November 2025. Not the best month. I averaged 841 words. I had a lot of travel. I traveled for like 7-8 days in November. Not saying it is what it is. But basically, I only wrote 25,000 words, which is like half of a NaNoWriMo. But I already written like 3,000 words the first 2 days of December. So it's a muscle I have. I've trained it. I can use it. I am going to be launching something on 2 things on Royal Road this month, and then I need to do I'm going to do a year-end wrap-up in probably 2 weeks. So at the beginning of the year, I had my bullet journal, and I just wrote out what my goals were, and now I'm just getting away from using the bullet journal, except for like recording my run times and my running and my like fitness stuff. So I might drop the bullet journal and just go back to using Obsidian, because I started using Obsidian, and then basically like that has become my second brain instead of my bullet journal, which is fine. And if you don't know what Obsidian is, shame on you. I don't really care. So yes, so we had a wedding. We were there for 5 days because I have small kids, and they were in the wedding. They were the part of the wedding party. They had a great time. Good to see family. Good to like get out of the shell and remember that like there was a reason why you're doing this thing that you're working so hard for, and it is not so that you can just like pay somebody else's bills. Like it is, you are doing something for yourself, or you're doing something because you want to do it, right? And I'm just like, it'd be really nice to live next to family. Really nice, or at least somebody responsible. Not that my neighbors are irresponsible. Just I don't, I don't let them walk away with my kids to hang out. But pop up and Nana, I can do that. Anyway, so and then Thanksgiving was the thing. So spend more time with your family and friends, and don't feel bad about it. Um, we resorters. But basically, so Bodega Cat finishes posting in December, no, January, and I've basically run out of shout outs for it. So, like, here's the thing about um, consistently uploading and having a backlog is that, like, you have to consistently put stuff out, but, like, if you just write it all, so I wrote Bodega Cat over the course of like 4 or 5 months, and now I finished writing it in early October, late September. It is December. It's still posting. It's still people are still like checking it out. It's not done posting by any means. It'll be done next month, but like I can use the influence. I can use the followers again from Bodega Cat to like be like, hey, check out my next thing, which is dropping on the 6th. That is Skill Spear, which is a time looper slash lit RPG, which I'm really enjoying because it is not a deck builder, and it is like, all right, I'm just gonna do the thing I want to do that is on meta because I read a lot of these books and I like them. And Blood Rights and Blood's Wrongs, which was designed for my wife, but it looks like it's not exactly what she wants. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board with that. I am going to push Blood Rights to be done as fast as possible so that I can have a physical book in February. But it's going to be like a novella length, like 40,000 to 60,000 words at most. And it's a romance. It's a romance romantasy. It is not a fantasy. It is a comedy, where it's like a rom com. And hopefully that will become part of a larger thing, but I'm not sure. So I don't know if I want to continue that one. We'll see, because it's very different than what I'm writing, and I have to sit down more and like get into the voice sometimes. So like I've written like 15,000 words for that, 16,000 words, and it's it's not something I'm unfamiliar with, but it is something that is new to me to write. So like I could write like a drama series where it's not about romance, and that's fine. Or I could write like a romance I want to write where it's like the conflict is not like the same thing as another like miscommunication trope, whatever. Um, the way I like it. Or hmm, but like if you're not enjoying the thing that you're writing, or if you're not like sometimes I'm not enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It's just it's not something I'm familiar with writing, right? And that has caused me to be slower. But like a deck builder where I'm like, I know all the characters, I know where it's going. Like, all right, I kind of know where they're going. They just had an arc with one blood right, and now they're going to have another arc with a different blood right cleanup thing. So we'll see. We'll follow along with that. Let me get back to this. And then so here's my rub. I finished 7 books this year. 7, which is a lot. It's December 3rd. I would like to finish 8. I will definitely finish the Blood Rights, which means I'll finish 8. I might finish 9 if I finish Skill Spear, which would mean that I basically have 10 books I need to edit for publication right now, and if I do this, I'll have 11. So I'm not doing another double launch ever again. I've learned that one. All right. Um, when we do Launchapalooza in the summer, the deck builder themed one, I am just going to do a regular one series launch. He said he promised to himself he's not doing any more challenges, even the challenges he created. All right, you will hold me to that. I will hold myself to that. I'm not doing two. I'm doing one. One. Um, Even though Blood Rights and Blood Wrongs is for my wife and it's short, and I'm going to follow along with. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing two at a time, right? Um, I might re-release Nascent Soul Child real quick, um, but it's still chugging along. So my three book series by therapist, where the dev editor is like, almost done. I'm like, okay, come on. Anyway, which is to say, like, I got a bunch of updates. So I will be launching on Novelizing and on Royal Road. On Novelizing, it's going to be a little different, um, just in terms of like Royal Road. I have a shout out swap list out, and then in Novelizing, I have like a matrix that I've made for everyone that's doing there. It is an official novelizing event, Launchapalooza. I need to add in the cat at Palooza, but I've had a lot of fun doing Launchapalooza and like leading up, and like basically everyone that's done it is going to be very successful, at least in launching. Some of them will be rising stars for a while, um, and I think that's great. Um, Very happy about that. Um, I would like to do more of the strategic planning and hand off some of the day-to-day stuff to people, but it is what it is. We'll see. Um, so that's where we are right now. I have 7 books done. I'd like to finish 8. I'm not trying to rush to 9. If it happens, it happens. Because these words, they are flowing for Skill Sphere. I'm about to give him a major setback in chapter 14. If you are about to read it, he's about to not get the thing he wants in a loop, and it's going to set him back a lot, because he's going to have it and lose it, and it's going to be devastating. And that's part of the thing. It's like I'm trying to think of how you can lose something in a loop that you gained. But part of Ludare's skill is that the Ludare is a gambler, or not a gambler. He's like a bookie at an arena. I've read too many stories where it's about the guy who's in the arena. No, this guy is the bookie at the arena. He does the odds. He forecasts how much the arena is going to pay out. He does it really well. That is his skill. At least that was his skill at the beginning of this. He's very tied into his skills, but now he can swap skills with people. And he starts with 3. He starts with 3 skills, and he swaps one skill, one person. And if his thing is, if you can get your skill to level 2, you keep it, right? You have 24 hours, right? But because he's in a time loop and he dies to the demon invasion within 60 minutes, spoiler alert, there's a demon invasion within 60 minutes. The reason for the time loop, cough. He has an hour to level up the skill to level 2, and it goes from like 1 to level 100 is like Grandmaster max. I'm really enjoying that because I'm making it so that not every skill he could level up in that time frame, even if he has it. Yeah. So the challenge is like, okay, you learn the skill, but you have to get it to level 2, but you also have to get it to level 2 before you are killed by this demonic legion that's invading into the middle of your arena, right? And he's just like, oh man. So he learns unarmed combat from one of his friends. He tries to find someone. He learns spear proficiency from somebody else. His spear proficiency levels up to a good level. I want to say like level 30 is like journeyman, apprentice, or after that, like you get looked at to work for like a militia or something like that. I want to say adept. but let's say apprentice level. I don't know. I haven't established the levels yet, but like I know like 100, I want to be like grandmaster, like top tier level. Like you are like the peak of the art. Um, One of the things about this is that like skills that you use in combat or skills that you use in a life and death situation, they develop faster because you have to like learn how to use them faster. And this skill that he gets helps him learn a little bit, just enough to kickstart that, but it doesn't like hold his hand. Um, it's also that they are limited on the skills they can get because it's a skill gem to acquire them, and skill gems are like mind. So I'm trying to put in some. I like interesting limitations, and so the limitation here is that you can only get a skill if you have a skill gem, or you're a skill swapper, which is a very rare skill gem that can't be swapped. He's a skill swapper, but he just got it during this first loop, and he uses it to like swap in unarmed combat, not knowing that that wasn't the best choice, but he learns it anyway. And he swaps in athletics. Now he has athletics, right? So every round he's like, I need to swap out one of the skills I'm not using to get something to try to level it up to try to do this, and he spends like 10 loops trying to figure out what to get to, what magic to get, and it's Roman themed. It is it's delicious. Um, but yeah, so I took some of the parts I like from Paragon of Skills, some from Stubborn Skill Grinder, and now I'm seeing where it goes, and I know where I want it to go. I know what I want to do with it, and I'm enjoying the process. But I'm also writing two books at the same time, or like I'm let's see, serially parallel, and massively parallel. Because I'll do one day, one the other. I'm also looking at my backlog. I'm like, okay, how long can I keep this backlog up, right? But anyway, that's me. A little rambly there at the end. Time to go do IRL stuff. So have a great day, besties. I will do a little promo video for each one of my things when they launch. Um, Please attend WinCon, and if you are going to attend it, there will be a link below, and you can do that thing so that we can like sell merch and we can teach newer authors like the craft, and you'll come to mine. You'll see you'll learn about comedy and why I can't not do comedy, and then